Lake and Hope Riley. Officials said that she'd gone for a jog, was found dead with visible injuries in a forested area behind Lake Herrick on Thursday. Police said foul play was suspected in her death. Now this case is being called a homicide investigation. Heavy police presence at an apartment located about a mile from Lake Herrick. Riley was a junior at the school's College of Nursing. I'm John Saucier, and this is Fox News.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight as temperatures dip down into the upper 30s to around 40 for those overnight low temperatures, and chilly air arrives heading into the upcoming weekend. Saturday, not that nice of a day of weather. We'll see extra clouds, the occasional shower in the afternoon and evening. One or two could even produce some small hail for Saturday afternoon and evening. Heading into the second half of the weekend, though, it'll be nice. Sunshine comes back, but still chilly in the low 50s Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hello everyone, this is Joshua Doby, president of North Main Financial Group. At North Main Financial Group, we move to where you need us. Investment management, insurance planning, and estate strategies. No two people are the same, so we customize our planning based upon your needs. Reach out to us at northmainfinancial.com. That's northmainfinancial.com.
Local leaders, top stories, the news that matters most to you. The News Drive at 5 Patrick Reynolds starts now.
News Drive at 5. Patrick Reynolds here, taking you home on this Friday, February the 23rd, 2024, 5:06 p.m. here on the East Coast at the home studios, WSIC News Talk out of Statesville and Cornelius, North Carolina. Cover all things Lake Norman, North Charlotte, and Iredell County. You just heard a 2-hour health block. WSIC News airs every Friday right here, beginning with the L Show, hosted by Dr. Nicole Eastman at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Brought to you by Rose Pharmacy in Cornelius. Start out there, and at 4 p.m., longtime voice you hear on WSIC News Talk, Dr. Fred Lowry, you just heard host Health Talk. Brought to you by Lowry Drug here in Statesville at 4 p.m. So we got a great block, 2-hour block of health shows. The L Show at 3 p.m., Health Talk at 4 p.m., and we've got you covered all around Lake Norman, Statesville, Iredell County, and North Charlotte. Just tune in. Always good talk here on WSIC News. Top 5 at 5 news stories that we are following for you tonight. A Mooresville man is charged with sexual exploitation of a minor. 2 Cornelius men charged in a Ponzi scheme. Violent crime slows in Statesville. Plans for Huntersville's new town hall move forward. And Iredell County transportation projects receive funding. We've also got our ticket giveaway later in the show for the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show at the Park Expo Center in Charlotte. That is happening literally right now. Today, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend, the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show at the Park Expo and Conference Center in Charlotte. Craig Conover of Bravo's hit series Southern Charm is appearing today at the show, as well as tomorrow, February the 24th. After our final break at 5:45, we will open up the phone lines to some lucky winner winning a 4-pack of tickets to the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. If you want to talk about the news or the headlines of the day, we would love to hear from you. It's important for us here at WSIC to connect to our audience. And right after our last break at 5:45, those same phone lines will be used for the winning tickets right there, the 4-pack to the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. WSIC News Drive at 5, top story tonight. A Mooresville man faces 18 felony charges in connection with the possession of child sexual exploitation material following an investigation by the Mooresville Police Department. MPD announced the arrest of Jonathan Neubauer Rivera, age 34. Mooresville police received information on December the 22nd from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children concerning an individual in Mooresville possibly being involved with the possession and distribution of child pornography. Based on the information, Mooresville Police Department detectives assigned to the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force began an immediate investigation. On December 23rd, detectives executed a search warrant at a residence located on Butler Drive and seized numerous electronic devices. MPD detectives conducted forensic examinations of the suspect's electronic devices, which revealed evidence of the possession and distribution of child pornography. As a result of the investigation, Neubauer Rivera was charged with 5 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor and 13 counts of third-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Neubauer Rivera turned himself in at the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office in Charlotte on February 21st and placed in the custody of the Mecklenburg County Detention Center under a $100,000 secured bond. The MTB expressed its appreciation to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for their assistance in this case. In Charlotte, family, friends, victims, and 2 U.S. attorneys filled the Charlotte courtroom yesterday afternoon as 2 Cornelius men who pled guilty to wire fraud conspiracy for orchestrating a large-scale investment scheme were sentenced to prison and probation. Attorneys for both Marlon Hershey, age 54, and Dana Bradley, age 53, both of Cornelius, asked for home-based detention, but were denied the opportunity to serve time in their homes. Hershey got the heavier sentence, 21 months in federal prison and 2 years supervised release. Bradley, who came across as both contrite and humiliated when he addressed Judge Frank Whitney, got 10 months and 2 years supervised release. The 2, who headed up Performance Holdings in Kenton Place, confessed to skimming 10% off the top of some investments without telling their clients, many of whom were high-end investors, as well as friends and, in some cases, family members. Hershey's sister, Melanie Rockefeller, and her former husband, Scott, invested more than $1 million and lost it all. As Judge Whitney was weighing all the redeeming factors against criminal factors, Melanie said she hasn't spoken to her big brother in 8 years. She says, "I hope you hold Marlon accountable because no one ever has." Well, the judge did so, but with compassion for the duo, both of whom have families. Judge said, quote, "I frequently see good people doing bad things, and that's what we have here," end quote. Nevertheless, describing their enterprise still as a Ponzi scheme. Assistant U.S. Attorney Taylor Stout said, quote, "New investor money was used to pay off early investors that caused real harm," end quote. From approximately 2009 to 2021, Hershey and Bradley conspired to defraud numerous victims who invested in 2 unregistered secured offerings promoted by the defendants, Performance Retire on Rentals and Distressed Lending Fund. Both enterprises eventually failed, causing significant losses to investors, one of whom, a doctor, said he lost $975,000. He said he invested more and more money, getting a little bit back until it stopped. The flip side, according to Bradley, was that he was both stubborn and determined to turn a bad investment around by pouring money in. He said, quote, "I was too stubborn to accept that PRR and DLF had failed," end quote. According to the feds, Hershey and Bradley provided victims with investment materials for PRR and DLF that contained false and misleading documents and did not disclose commission-like payments based on the amount of investments they sold. In fact, they admitted to providing investors with offering materials that represented the opposite, that nobody would be paid a commission in connection with the investments. Hershey and Bradley received payments that were typically 10% of an investor's initial investment and often received an additional 10% when an investor extended an investment. According to court records, Hershey and Bradley also failed to disclose negative information about the financial woes faced by some of the entities for which they were soliciting investments. Because the pair often solicited the same group of investors to invest in various enterprises, the defendants took steps to conceal such financial difficulties by making undisclosed loans to various entities so that the entities could, in turn, make their required interest payments to investors. A complicated case, much like a Ponzi scheme. News Drive at 5 rolls on. Patrick Reynolds taking you home. We'll be back right after this.
We'll be back with more of the News Drive at 5 with Patrick Reynolds in just a moment on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight as temperatures dip down into the upper 30s to around 40 for those overnight low temperatures, and chilly air arrives heading into the upcoming weekend. Saturday, not that nice of a day of weather. We'll see extra clouds, the occasional shower in the afternoon and evening. One or two could even produce some small hail for Saturday afternoon and evening. Heading into the second half of the weekend, though, it'll be nice. Sunshine comes back, but still chilly in the low 50s Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Merlefest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College, featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Downtown Mooresville's Shamrocks and Shenanigans is on its way. St. Patty's Day is right around the corner. The festival is happening in downtown Mooresville. Attendance is free, but there are ticket packages available for purchase. Irish dancers, pipe bands, food and drinks. March 16th, downtown Mooresville. Shamrocks and Shenanigans is on its way. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Want to attend the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each gives you your chance to win the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd through the 25th. Want to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex? How about a Triceratops? Dinosaur World Live is coming to Kane Center for the Arts Friday, March 29th. That's not the only fun family adventure coming to Kane Center for the Arts. Dinosaur World Live, Friday, March 29th. For tickets and to see the entire spring lineup, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Folks, you know it's been cold, and we at Randy Marion Stores in Statesville, we want to make sure your car does not leave you stranded on these cold mornings. Come let us check your vehicle out with a complimentary service check. Randy Marion Chevrolet of Statesville, Randy Marion Ford Lincoln, we'll check it out to make sure that car will start on these cold mornings and get you to where you need to be. Come see us today. Make sure you're tip-top ready to go. 2024 has started off cold. Let's make sure you are ready to go.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com. Drive at 5 continues now on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Here's your host, Patrick Reynolds.
Welcome back to the News Drive at 5 here at WSIC News Talk. I am Patrick Reynolds taking you home on this Friday, February 23rd, 2024, 5:18 p.m. Eastern Time. We are about 30 minutes away for our ticket giveaway to the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show at the Park Expo and Conference Center in Charlotte. The show is happening right now through Saturday and Sunday. So we got your weekend plans right here with a winning 4-pack of tickets in about 30 minutes. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. Craig Conover of Bravo's hit series Southern Charm is appearing at the show today and tomorrow. So call in about 30 minutes. Win your free tickets to the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show. Back to the News Drive at 5 headlines for this evening. Statesville Police David Onley said the targeted enforcement efforts helped slow the increase in violent crime in the city in 2023. Although the number of homicides declined sharply, the total number of violent crimes increased slightly from 207 in 2022 to 2009 in 2023. Property crimes were also essentially flat, decreasing from around 1,100 in 2022 to just above 1,300 in 2023. In May of last year, the Statesville Police Department rolled out a special South Side unit aimed at removing firearms and drugs from neighborhoods. The initiative, Chief Only told the Statesville City Council during its annual crime report, has paid dividends, particularly in the decline of gun-related crimes. In past years, crime has spiked during the summer months, but with the increased officer presence and enforcement, that jump did not occur in 2023. Officers assigned to the South Side unit seized 62 firearms, along with fentanyl, cocaine, marijuana, meth, and illegal pills, along with cash. The strategic use of license plate readers and surveillance cameras on South Statesville were instrumental in those efforts. The chief said, quote, "I'm just going to tell you this, along with the efforts of our guys down in South Statesville, they've done a tremendous job to get rid of a lot of stuff that was going on down there before," end quote. Police department officers assigned to the South Side unit made 200 arrests and served 428 warrants in 2023. The Statesville Police Department's efforts to reduce gun crime yielded results across the entire city. A total of 228 firearms were seized by officers in 2023, up from 143 firearms seized in 2022. Overall, the number of calls for service increased by nearly 22%. The number of police pursuits also increased, along with the number of incidents in which officers used force. City Councilwoman Doris Allison said she was appreciative of the Statesville Police Department's efforts to make the city safer. Allison said, quote, "I am so grateful for where we have come from because we do have a good police department, and it could not have been if it had not been for the leadership of the former Chief Addison and our current police chief, who is making a difference, and he has not dropped the ball. I want to say thank you, Chief, for everything you have done," end quote. In Huntersville, the town took another step forward towards breaking ground on a new town hall, locking in contracts that will improve working relations for town staff, but they will also cost taxpayers in the coming year. The board voted 5-1 to approve financing and enter a construction contract to build the new town hall just north of its current one along North Carolina 115. Commissioner Nick Walsh was the sole nay vote for both motions, citing his displeasure that the previous town board stopped work on the original plan to build a less expensive building on the southwest corner of the intersection of Gilead Road and North Carolina 115 in favor of a more expensive building on a lot that was not shovel-ready. Walsh also noted that the previous board wanted to cut the tax rate while planning to issue $32 million in debt to fund the town hall. Walsh said, quote, "Let me be clear. That debt is going to be paid for by the taxpayers of Huntersville. There will be no choice but to raise taxes in the budget this spring to pay for our new $32 million town hall building," end quote. Commissioner Amanda Dumas said that the project is pricey, but changing course now would delay construction and could cost more than originally projected as costs rise. She said, quote, "We're where we're at today, and we have an opportunity to have a town hall that suits all of our needs for a long time. And yes, it is expensive," end quote. The new building will bring most town office employees under one roof, with the hope of streamlining operations, improving communication and collaboration among departments, and giving residents more convenient access to town staff and services. Said Mayor Pro Tem Jennifer Hunt, quote, "Town employees make Huntersville run, and without their dedication and professionalism, nothing would get done. We need to treat them like professionals and give them and future employees an appropriate place to work that doesn't shuffle them around from cubicle to cubicle like furniture. If someone is still skeptical of the need for a new town hall, I would encourage them to come to a board meeting when a topic of interest is on the agenda and see that residents are sitting in the lobby because there isn't enough space. If we want people to be involved and engaged in the civic process, the current atmosphere is not conducive to that, end quote. The town hall will be paid for with limited obligation bonds with a total cost of just under $30 million before interest is added. The 54,000 square foot building, which aims to be a 50-year solution to the town's needs, is expected to be completed in 2025. In other Huntersville business, the board denied a rezoning petition for the Dove's Tire Service property. Town staff said Morningstar Storage's request to rezone the nearly 4 acres on Statesville Road from special purpose and highway commercial to special purpose conditional district was generally compliant with design and architectural standards in the zoning ordinance and with the land use policies, but it was not consistent with the envisioned use for the area in the 2040 Huntersville Community Plan. Commissioners agreed that an indoor storage facility was not what the best use of the property and the betterment of the town. Walsh, in his motion to deny the petition, noted that a storage facility would not create jobs and did not match the encouraged neighborhood serving or commercial uses. Walsh said although the storage facility was not a bad plan, he felt a restaurant or other commercial use there would more broadly benefit the surrounding communities. He said, quote, "I just think we could do better on that corner," end quote. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Board of Education District 1 Representative Melissa Easley also updated the Huntersville Board on school bond plans for the area. She said the district is working quickly to get started building a new North Mecklenburg High School. She said once they break ground, it will take about 3 years to complete the school for occupancy, which means it will likely open in 2027 or 2028. The Charlotte Regional Transportation Planning Organization Board has awarded $62.2 million in discretionary grant program project funds for 25 projects in Iredell, Mecklenburg, and Union counties. In Mooresville, money will be going to the East-West Connector Project, the first phase of that, and also the Greenway on Patterson Heights. In Statesville, they will get funding for the US 21 Greenway Connector. In Troutman, there will be some intersection improvements at US 21 in North Carolina 115 Main Street and Murdoch Road to Old Mountain Road intersection. The Charlotte Regional Transportation Planning Organization also works with the North Carolina Department of Transportation to program federal and state discretionary funds to jurisdictions to implement a project, program, or study. These grants are essential to the cities and towns that may not otherwise be able to fund these transportation projects. In Iredell County, tax scams are among the most stubborn cons out there. They reappear often, each time with a slightly different spin. The main theme is scammers posing as the Internal Revenue Service, trying to trick people into either paying up or sharing personal information. These scams most often start with a phone call and take 2 basic forms. In the first version, the IRS agent says you owe back taxes and pressures you into paying by prepaid debit card or wire transfer. If you don't comply, the scammer threatens you with arrest and fines. In the other version, scammers claim they are issuing tax refunds and ask you for personal information so they can send you your refund. This information can later be used for identity theft. These imposters often go to great lengths to appear real. The scammer may give a fake badge number and name. Your caller ID may look like a call is coming from Washington, D.C. Con artists sometimes follow up scam calls with an email, which uses the IRS logo, colors, and official-sounding language. In many instances, these scams start with a serious and official-sounding robocall recording. You are pressured to act quickly. Scammers then typically try to push you into action before you have time to think. The IRS will give you the chance to ask questions or appeal what you owe. Also, their first contact with you will always be by mail, not a phone call or email. If you are a victim of tax identity theft in the U.S., contact the IRS. You should also file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission. News Drive at 5 continues on. We'll have more of your local headlines. Patrick Reynolds taking you home. Ticket giveaway coming up after the next 2 breaks. We'll be right back.
Stick around for more of the News Drive at 5, coming up on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight as temperatures dip down into the upper 30s to around 40 for those overnight low temperatures, and chilly air arrives heading into the upcoming weekend. Saturday, not that nice of a day of weather. We'll see extra clouds, an occasional shower in the afternoon and evening. 1 or 2 could even produce some small hail for Saturday afternoon and evening. Heading into the second half of the weekend, though, it'll be nice. Sunshine comes back, but still chilly in the low 50s Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Cold weather is here, but that doesn't mean it has to be cold inside. At G&B Energy, we provide clean and efficient propane to heat your water heater, warm your home, and cook your meals, even when the power's out. We are a family-owned and North Carolina-grown business known for fair prices and expert service. Visit G&B Energy today on Intercraft Drive in Statesville or gnbenergy.com. G&B Energy, home of the $480 Rinnai tankless water heater. Restrictions apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no 2 people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. And now, during the final days of our President's Day sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus 10% off all bases. Ends Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Okay, I'm talking funny because I'm in the witness protection program. I have too much credit card debt and I don't want people to find me.
Okay, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about credit card debt. Right, those plastic things that we all have in our wallet. Are you in your 50s or 60s and you're still carrying around a mound of credit card debt? Wouldn't it be nice to start banking that money and save a little money for retirement down the road? We help people restructure their credit card debt all the time. We show people how they can get out of credit card debt in months, not years. Listen, you'll be carrying around credit card debt for the rest of your life unless you deal with it right now. We offer a free consultation so you can learn how you can finally wipe out your credit card debt and start saving money. Give us a free call right now.
Call Debt Solutions Network now. 866-451-3328. 866-451-3328. That's 866-451-3328.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-869-8560. 800-869-8560. 800-869-8560. That's 800-869-8560.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Look for food prices to move even higher. The U.S. Department of Agriculture just raised its food inflation estimate this month to 2.9% from a year ago, up about 1.5% in January. The USDA says the biggest increases from its previous estimate are for prices on vegetables, non-alcoholic beverages, and eggs. Goldman Sachs economists have pushed back their view on when the Federal Reserve will begin cutting interest rates. They now see the first rate cut in June instead of May, and they expect 4 cuts this year instead of 5. And Google's CEO says artificial intelligence can disproportionately help defend against cyber attacks. Speaking at a security conference in Munich, he said the rapid development of AI can impact security threats at scale. The global economy lost an estimated $8 trillion in 2023 due to cybercrime. Stocks end the week mixed on Wall Street. The Dow gained 63 points. The Nasdaq lost 45. The S&P added 2. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
It's the News Drive at 5 with Patrick Reynolds on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to the News Drive at 5 here at WSIC News Talk for Friday, February 23rd, 2024, or as Good Morning LKN calls it, Friday, 5:35 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard. We are about 10 to 15 minutes away for our ticket giveaway for the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show. We got a winning 4-pack of tickets right there for you for one lucky caller in about 10 minutes from now. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. We'll give away a winning 4-pack of tickets. Or if you'd like to join us for a little bit of news talk today about the local headlines, 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. Back to the News Drive at 5 headlines. Out of Raleigh, a financial relief program that helps cover the cost of state-required teacher license exams has now helped more than 3,500 people on their path to the classroom. The initiative was first launched in June by the North Carolina State Department of Public Instruction in partnership with Teach NC and with oversight from the North Carolina Pandemic Recovery Office. Gabrielle Barnes, Senior Regional Program Manager for Teach NC, said, quote, "The exams are hard enough as it is, and we don't want finances to be an additional barrier that gets in the way of getting passionate teachers into classrooms," end quote. The initiative is funded by $3 million in Governor's Emergency Education Relief Funds, a grant awarded by Congress to each state's governor to help address the effects of COVID-19 on education. North Carolina, like many states, experienced a significant increase in teacher vacancies after the pandemic. The investment will contribute to the state's continued recovery by supporting future teachers at a critical point in their pursuit of an education career. Madeline Salazar, a third-grade teacher at Rashkis Elementary School in Chapel Hill, says she used the reimbursement to cover the cost of multiple state-required exams, taking the financial burden off of her. Education students who are preparing for teaching license exams or teachers who have already taken exams dating back to July 2022 may qualify for up to $500 in vouchers or reimbursements. The program also helps with test preparation. In less than a year, Teach NC has already awarded 2/3 of the allocated funds, with $1 million still available through September of 2024 or until the funding is depleted. Around Lake Norman, donations aiding the efforts to eradicate limbia in Lake Norman are no longer needed as area stakeholders have come together to fund the first phase of the treatment in full, allowing work to begin in April. While Lake area residents were willing to foot the bill in the interim to ensure treatment wasn't delayed until next year, investments provided by Charlotte Water, the City of Charlotte, and Duke Energy, as well as Catawba, Iredell, Lincoln, and Mecklenburg counties will fund the treatment. The Lake Norman Marine Commission will manage project funding and administration in partnership with the NCSU Aquatic Plant Management Program. Jessica Bauman, an NCSU Extension Associate who manages Lingbia treatments on Lake Gaston, will provide ongoing guidance and oversight of the Lake Norman project. Bauman said, quote, "Some of the details I can't speak to because we're still working out the logistics, but basically it will be a 6-month process this year. Algicides, which are accumulated copper-based algicides, will be deployed into the water on a monthly basis for 6 consecutive months, starting in April and running through September," end quote. It's estimated that a 4-year treatment program will be required to achieve practical eradication. Legislatures in the North Carolina General Assembly are working to secure funding for Lingbia treatment in 2025 and beyond, with annual monitoring to continue indefinitely until completion of the project. Lake Gaston, where Lingbia has already spread across 1,200 acres before any funding was committed towards its eradication, is preparing for its 4th year of treatment. The early detection in Lake Norman won't change the methodology of the treatment, but Bauman is hopeful it will shorten the lifetime. She said, quote, "From a science nerd perspective, I'm really excited to see how this program responds because I'm used to starting in an area that's already heavily infested. Having only 10 acres currently in Lake Norman, I'm very hopeful on the response, although I still think it will take a couple of years," end quote. Lingbia, which isn't known to be a toxin producer, according to Duke Energy's lead scientist Brett Hardis, who also acknowledged that the plant is relatively unknown and understudied. The plant has never been associated with any major human health issues, but it is known to cause taste and odor compounds that can impact drinking water. Hardis described Lingbia as particularly unpleasant to deal with, noting that many who report its presence are under the assumption that there's been a sewage spill. In terms of the treatment, Bauman said that the copper-based algicides being used don't come with any swimming or irrigation-related restrictions. Bauman said, quote, "Copper, when it goes into the water, has this really pretty blue color to it, so the boats will go by and you'll actually be able to see the chemical trail behind them. I do tell people, although there's no label restrictions, I wouldn't go swimming on it right after it's been applied," end quote. In Statesville, Performing Arts Live Iredell welcomes the acclaimed Fry Street Quartet on the 4th concert of the 23-24 season. The concert is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. on March 9th at Matt Gray Auditorium on the campus of Statesville High School. The group has been hailed as a triumph of ensemble playing by the New York Times, reaching audiences from Carnegie Hall to London, Shanghai, and beyond. The Fry Street Quartet tour repertoire includes works of Schubert, Beethoven, and Bartok, as well as exciting music from visionary modern composers. The Fry Street Quartet, formed in 1997, is now in its 20th year of an endowed residency at the Kane College of the Arts at Utah State University, where each member teaches when the group is not touring. The group's first residency was sponsored by Chamber Music International and the National Endowment for the Arts in Hickory. During that time, the Fry Street Quartet won competitions and built a local following. They proudly continue their residencies today, supported entirely by the Hickory community. Tickets are available on Performing Arts Live's website. They will also be available for purchase at Matt Gray Auditorium prior to the show. The Carolina Big Dive returns to Huntersville Family Fitness and Aquatics March 14th through the 17th, and for the first time will feature athletes preparing to qualify for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Carolina Diving Academy is introducing a first-in-the-nation Pro-Am diving event in conjunction with the 2024 Carolina Big Dive Invitational. In addition to the top divers on the East Coast who regularly attend the annual event, the 2024 Pro-Am will feature divers from across the country preparing for the Olympic trials later this spring. Carolina Diving Academy Program Director Aaron Hintz said, quote, "This has been a dream of mine since I was a diver. The Carolina Big Dive was set to be a standard for a unique Learn and Other award since the start, but this is completely new. Professional diving is the missing component that will allow the U.S. to regain our international prominence. We are launching the event this year in preparation for Paris, but the goal for the annual event is to be better prepared and promote our divers for success at home in 2028 when the Olympics come to Los Angeles. The top 3 professional divers in each event will receive a cash prize. The top 3 amateur divers will receive a yet-to-be-determined award that will allow them to remain eligible for the NCAA, as those athletes are not allowed to receive a cash value. News Drive at 5, headlines rolls on, and we are having our ticket giveaway right after the next break. Patrick Reynolds taking you home. We'll be right back.
Keep it here. We'll be back with more of the News Drive at 5 with Patrick straight ahead on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight as temperatures dip down into the upper 30s to around 40 for those overnight low temperatures. And chilly air arrives heading into the upcoming weekend. Saturday, not that nice of a day of weather. We'll see extra clouds, the occasional shower in the afternoon and evening. One or two could even produce some small hail for Saturday afternoon and evening. Heading into the second half of the weekend, though, it'll be nice. Sunshine comes back, but still chilly in the low 50s Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. MuralFest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College, featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at muralfest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Downtown Mooresville's Shamrocks and Shenanigans is on its way. St. Patty's Day is right around the corner. The festival is happening in downtown Mooresville. Attendance is free, but there are ticket packages available for purchase. Irish dancers, pipe bands, food and drinks. March 16th, downtown Mooresville. Shamrocks and Shenanigans is on its way. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Want to attend the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each gives you your chance to win. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd through the 25th. Want to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex? How about a Triceratops? Dinosaur World Live is coming to Kane Center for the Arts Friday, March 29th. That's not the only fun family adventure coming to Kane Center for the Arts. Dinosaur World Live, Friday, March 29th. For tickets and to see the entire spring lineup, visit canearts.org. That's CAINarts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
When you have problems with your heating system, you need SHA Mechanical. Serving the region since 1975, SHA will make sure your system always stays in the best condition. Visit SHA Mechanical online at shamechanical.com.
Call in now to speak with Patrick Reynolds on the News Drive at 5. The number to dial is 844-STUDIO-4. WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to the News Drive at 5 here on this February 23rd. It is Friday afternoon, 2024, 5:48 p.m. on the East Coast. It is time to give away 4 tickets to the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show. Got a 4-pack of winning tickets right there for the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show at the Park Expo and Conference Center in Charlotte, happening today, Saturday, and Sunday. So right there, that's your 4-pack of winning tickets. Craig Conover of Bravo's hit series Southern Charm is at the show today. He will be there tomorrow as well. 844-STUDIO-4 844-788-3464. Call in right now. That four-pack, it's a four-pack of winning tickets to the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show is yours right now. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. Back to the News Drive at 5 headlines in Statesville. My Sister's House Director, Brittany Campbell, and Domestic Violence Advocacy Center, Emily Cowan, discussed the mission of My Sister's House and ways the community can help out with needed items. The lady shared that My Sister's House is part of Fifth Street Ministries and has a 24-hour crisis hotline. In addition, they work with those ladies who come to the shelter and offer counseling, support groups, and therapy. While an average stay is 90 days, some women have lasted years depending on the need. At the meeting, members assembled 63 toiletry bags, which were donated to My Sister's House, along with additional supplies collected as part of the club's Love Our Sisters initiative. Through Thursday, February 29th, a drop-off box will be located beside the front door at the historic clubhouse located on West End Avenue in Statesville for those who want to contribute items to My Sister's House. Also in Statesville, get ready to immerse yourself in the magic of cinema as the Full Bloom Film Festival presents its film series lineup for 2024. From Oscar-winning gems to cult classics, this series promises to entertain audiences with a diverse array of cinematic treasures in Statesville. All shows are at 7 p.m. at the Iredell Arts Council, located on South Meeting Street in Statesville, except for the Film Festival, which takes place September 5 through 7. In Davidson, you can join in the family fun event benefiting local nonprofit Senior Community Connections. SCC serves seniors in Lake Norman to prevent isolation and loneliness. And Shamrock Stroll and Festival will take place on the Davidson Green, March 16th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The day will begin a little bit early with a parade at 10:30 that will last about an hour. So they're telling you to dress up in your best green and line up at the former Davidson Town Hall. That is now the Public Safety Building. Get there beginning at 10:30 a.m. The stroll will be along the sidewalk on Main Street at 11 a.m. You can collect fun treasures from local businesses along Main Street. Now there's a festival from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. So join everyone on the Davidson Green. They've got face painting, balloon artists, inflatables, games, crafts, music, and more. A wristband gives you entry to enjoy all of the fun. All proceeds go to benefit Senior Community Connections. Food trucks will be available with treats to purchase. The North Carolina Media Group of Lee Enterprises announced that Katie Murphy has been promoted to Vice President of Sales. Murphy will be in charge of increasing revenue performance involving local audience and digital marketing services across 8 key markets in North Carolina, including the Winston-Salem Journal and Greensboro News and Record. Murphy joined Lee in 2020 as an advertising director. Eric Mayberry, president of the North Carolina Media Group, says Murphy's unwavering dedication and strategic vision have significantly advanced the knowledge and emphasis on our digital product portfolio within local sales teams and client partners. The Lee Regional Sales Organization in North Carolina also includes newspapers in Concord, Hickory, Marion, Morganton, and right here close to home in Mooresville and Statesville. Murphy said, quote, "I'm thankful to our executive leadership team and Eric Mayberry for the opportunity to continue growing our client relationships and cultivating a high-performance sales team and the culture in North Carolina with this role. Developing individuals to reach their greatest potential while using the best tools in the industry to deliver for our clients makes coming to work every day a gift." Murphy's promotion to Vice President of Sales was disclosed along with John Penley being named as Senior Sales Manager of the Community Group team and Calvin Clark as Digital Sales Manager for the Triad. Prior to joining Lee, Murphy worked in market leadership roles across South Carolina, serving as advertising director and general manager at Morris Communications in Gannett. Murphy's civic endeavors include graduating from Leadership Winston-Salem in May of 2022 and contributing as a member of the Long Range Planning Committee for Crisis Control Ministry. Besides her new job, Murphy is pursuing an MBA from Wake Forest University with an emphasis on strategy and leadership. Mayberry said, quote, her dedication to continuous improvement reflects her passion for driving positive change, both personally and professionally. Katie considers the elevation of her team's members' career a key responsibility. Recapping some of our top stories from earlier tonight on the News Drive at 5. A Mooresville man faces 18 felony charges in connection with the possession of child sexual exploitation material following an investigation by the Mooresville Police Department. The Mooresville Police Department announced the arrest of Jonathan Neubauer Rivera, age 34. Mooresville police received information on December 22nd from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children concerning an individual in Mooresville possibly being involved with the possession and distribution of child pornography. Based on the information, Mooresville Police Department detectives assigned to the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force began an immediate investigation. On December 23rd, detectives executed a search warrant at a residence located on Butler Drive and seized numerous electronic devices. MPD detectives conducted forensic examinations of the suspect's electronic devices, which revealed evidence of the possession and distribution of child pornography. As a result of the investigation, Neubauer Rivera was charged with 5 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor and 13 counts of third-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Neubauer Rivera turned himself in at the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office in Charlotte on February 21st and placed in the custody of the Mecklenburg County Detention Center under a $100,000 secure bond. In Charlotte, family, friends, victims, and 2 U.S. attorneys filled a Charlotte courtroom as 2 Cornelius men who pled guilty to wire fraud conspiracy for orchestrating a large-scale investment scheme were sentenced to prison terms and probation. Attorneys for both Marlon Hershey and Dana Bradley, both of Cornelius, asked for home-based detention, but were denied the opportunity to serve time in their homes. Hershey got the heavier sentence, 21 months in federal prison and 2 years supervised release. Bradley, who came across as both contrite and humiliated when he addressed the judge, got 10 months and 2 years supervised release. The 2 headed up the Performance Holdings in Kenton Place, confessed to skimming 10% off the top of some investments without telling their clients, many of whom were high-end investors as well as friends and, in some cases, family members. Hershey's sister, Melanie Rockefeller, and her former husband, Scott, invested more than $1 million and lost it all. As Judge Whitney was weighing all the redeeming factors against the pair, Melanie says she hasn't spoken to her big brother in 8 years. She said, I hope you hold Marlon accountable because no one ever has. News Drive at 5 coming to a conclusion for this Friday, February 3rd, but right after us, as always is every weekday here on WSIC News, Joe Berg hosts The Scoreboard, bringing you all up to date on the latest in the world of sports. Joe, how are you on this Friday evening?
I'm very glad it's Friday. I can tell you that much.
You're very glad it's Friday because there is a huge sports weekend coming up, yes?
Yes, there's always a huge sports weekend.
It's the weekend. It's more
the weekend.
That's prime time for sports.
It is for sports. That's why we have weekends.
To have sports.
Exactly.
What do you got coming up for us on the show tonight? I think you got a lot.
We do. We have Daytona. We just had Daytona.
It feels like we just left Daytona.
And it feels like we're going right back with the way that Atlanta drives. We're going to Atlanta this weekend in NASCAR. All 3 series will be going on Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
Also, baseball is back.
Baseball is back. What do we got?
Spring training underway. We have a major update in the NCAA regarding NIL, name, image, and likeness rules. Also, we're going to talk to someone with Charlotte FC.
Was this the interview that I teased a few days ago?
This is. Yes, it is.
So we've had some Charlotte FC people in the house here at WSIC. You got to talk to them. That's pretty cool.
We did, yeah.
So you got a big show coming up.
Big show.
Scoreboard.
And a special guest.
And a special guest. Stay tuned. That's the message. Don't touch that dial. Scoreboard coming up at the top of the hour. This has been the News Drive at 5 for your Friday afternoon. I am Patrick Reynolds, wishing you all a great weekend. We will talk to you on Monday. Take care, everybody.
Serving you better than ever